Mr. Watchman himself, Shedeur Sanders, finally gets drafted after he waited just like Jesus 3 days. On that third day, a man finally got drafted to the Cleveland Browns. Jackson, how did you feel?
Round 5, pick 144. What the hell is going? I'm gonna be like Cam Ward. I knew he was consensus number 1 overall quarterback. Watching him play, like no disrespect to Shedeur at all, but like watching him play, Cam Ward looked better than Shedeur. Period. Point blank. Yeah. So obviously he went number 1. But then you get to a Jackson Dart, who never at any point in his college career looked anywhere near as confident as Shedeur. He's athletic and all that. He got an arm, but he ain't look like Shedeur. Then you get to the Saints, who drafted Tyler Shuck, who is 26 years old. Not trying to age.
And I am.
But he's 26. He was in college for 7. He was the same draft class as not same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence. He was the backup to Justin Herbert at Oregon. Like he played in college for that long. Trevor Lawrence is on his 2nd contract in the NFL right now. And Tyler Shuck.
We was in college. We was in college with the nigga
at the same time.
We were, and we didn't graduate. We weren't late graduation ass niggas.
Hold on, actually, I'm gonna look right. I'm gonna look right now. Actually,
I know Jax graduated in 4. The fuck is y'all talking about? I know that nigga
because he played at Texas Tech. Did we watch him play? We might have seen him play.
That nigga might have been. Yeah, because that nigga was pre-COVID. That nigga was pre-COVID.
He went to Oregon, then he went to take. Like we might have watched him play against.
Oh God, he probably did.
Like, but anyway, but yeah, he was in college for like 7 years. He suffered like a season-ending injury in every single year. Blah blah blah. But he looks the part. You know, he's tall, he's strong-armed, he can move, even though he doesn't move because he's always hurt. And then after that, I believe like who else got? I think Jalen Milroe got drafted, and I was like, okay, I can see why somebody would want Milroe because you know he's all athlete, and if you can make something about that, it'll be awesome. Oh, but God, then you get Deion Gabriel, the Cleveland Browns. Like before, I was like, everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is a conspiracy. And I was like, in my head, I was like, no, because I was pointing out, I could see reasons why all of those other quarterbacks were picked before Shedeur. Like I wouldn't have done it, but I could see why. And then it got to Deion Gabriel, who's the Oregon quarterback, who like 5'10", 180 pounds. He got a decent arm, nothing too crazy. He's an athlete, good enough for like college, but not NFL wise as an athlete. And it's just like I see him getting drafted, and I'm like, okay. Maybe it is a conspiracy because this not making no type of sense at all. And then it gets even more confusing because the Browns are who drafted Deion Gabriel, and then the Browns came back and drafted Shedeur like I think 2 or I think the next round because Gabriel was a 4th round pick. So it's just like none of this.
No. Gabriel was a 3rd rounder.
Oh, he was 3rd? I thought he got drafted.
He was
today.
a 3rd. No, he got drafted yesterday.
Oh, okay.
He got drafted yesterday. It was a late 3rd. It might as well be a 4th.
Okay,
I don't know. Late 3rd round, and then a whole round went by because Shedeur didn't get drafted in the 4th, and then he finally got drafted in the 5th. Keep in mind, the Browns traded up to get both players. They traded up to get Deion Gabriel, and they traded up to get Shedeur.
Like that just makes no sense. Like, the Browns quarterback room now consists of Bill Cosby. Deshaun Watson. This is Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deion Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Like, what is the reason for 5 quarterbacks? Like, not all of them are going to make that roster. Deshaun Watson will be on that roster just because that's just how the cap situation is. Joe Flacco, I guess he's going to be on that roster. Maybe. Kenny Pickett, they traded for this offseason, meaning they wasted draft capital to get Kenny Pickett. So, like, will he still be on the roster? I don't know. Then you have Deion Gabriel, who you spent a 3rd rounder on. You're not just going to cut that because that's like, why would you waste that pick? Then you got Shedeur, who
You traded up for all of these picks. You traded up for all of these. You overdid every pick. Every person that's there. You overpaid for Deshaun Watson. I don't know how much you did for Joe Flacco, so I'll leave that nigga alone. You went out and probably overpaid for Kenny Pickett. You
just
traded up to get Dylan Brooks.
Pickett is overpaying for Kenny Pickett.
Exactly. And it's just like what are you doing? Like, is it one of those things where you're trying to like it's just like you remember when a Popeye's chicken sandwich came the second go round and niggas started going OD and started mass like collecting them shits, like mass buying them and then like sitting out in the street just like, hey, I got him. I'm upcharging. I know you want the sandwich, but I know you don't want to wait in line for it. Fuck it. You want Dylan? You want Shedeur? Hey, let's talk. I don't get what the fuck's going on. Now I will say, and we'll talk about some other things that happened in the draft for sure. Because of course you said Jackson Dart, the Giants thing, like that's just a Daniel Jones 2.0. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know who else was checking for Jackson Dart in the first round.
And the Giants traded up to get him.
Just like you did Daniel Jones. Like if you wanted Jackson Dart, you did not have to trade up.
I don't think they had to trade up. But real fast, since you brought up Jackson Dart, I don't know if you've seen some of his highlights.
No. You talking about collegiate?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, this is Jackson. This is Jackson Dart. This is his end of a game against I can't remember what school. Against Ole Miss, or rather against Florida. He's a quarterback for Ole Miss. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead, blow it up though.
All right. It'll probably get bigger when I press play, but this is just Jackson Dart. I just want you to just watch this. In the game situation, he throws the pick with 90 seconds left. And he's like, oh, dang, I think we lost the game. He throws another pick. Oh, dang, I think we lost the game. That pick was called out for a penalty. So thank God. Whew. One final play. Throws another interception to lose the game. This is who gets drafted. This is who gets drafted before Shedeur.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I like what I saw better than that NFL combine of Tyler Shuck. I will say that shit right there. That looked like that all-American TV show kind of throw. That's the throw we be talking about, where it's like, yo, them British Americans or those British that become American.
They never threw football before. They don't know what it is. They don't know how to do it.
That's what that shit look like. So when we say people like, okay, the Giants got Jackson Dart, I don't agree with, what the New Orleans Saints did with Tyler Shuck. But at the same time, they grabbed a quarterback. The New Orleans Saints, shout out to the fans because these niggas was talking crazy. He was like, we did not survive Katrina for this. I was like, you have a lot of points.
They were on his dog and everything. They wanted to do. I can't say the word, but they wanted to do stuff to the owner too. I was just like, bro, they're going crazy. They was like, man, when she got robbed, they should have. I was like,
they going insane. So I get it. he said, Lord, what did I do to deserve this? I'm like, yeah, I see what's going on.
Saints fans are the funniest fans on the internet. The Saints fans are the funniest fans on the internet, bro.
So you did that. Cleveland did what they did. And even the Seahawks did what they did with Jalen Milroe or whatever. At least, at bare minimum, although I don't agree with those picks, they can hang their hat on, okay, we grabbed the quarterback. We at least grabbed the quarterback within those first 5-ish rounds, 5-ish rounds.
Yeah.
For you to be the Pittsburgh Steelers and have a first-round draft pick in 21, shit, even if you would have gotten Jackson Dart, I would have disagreed, but I'm like, all right, nigga, at least you got something. You refuse to just get any quarterback.
No, they got a quarterback. They got Will Howard out of Ohio State at the end, which is like he wasn't No, nigga, like, what the fuck are we doing? No, it's not the answer.
Like, you picked the nigga that you knew wasn't gonna be able to compete with Aaron Rodgers or whoever the fuck you gonna bring in, or Mason Rudolph. Like, it's fucking crazy. But if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm fucking livid. I'm fucking livid, and not too much on Derek Harmon, because he ain't. Or I don't know if his name was Derek, but I know his last name was Harmon. The D tackle that got drafted by the Steelers. You know, not too much on him, because I know he's gonna be a good player. Condolences to his mother. I know that his mother passed away the next day. Respect to that.
That's tough though. That's really tough. Like, I'm happy his mom got to go and tell his mom, hey, I'm really happy, but that's
like that's a really, and I'm glad he was able to get there enough time and share that moment. That's some real shit right there. Like, but with that being said, it's like, that nigga, you didn't want to draft nobody. Like, you didn't want to draft,
because Shedeur got passed over so many times by so many quarterback needy, like even Tom Brady and them. Like, Brady was with him since high school. Ain't pick him up. I was like, yo,
damn. Like, what? But like with the Steelers, because there was a lot of people that was being dumb. There was a lot of people that was talking crazy because they were like, "Oh, okay, like they're not trying to get a quarterback because like who cares that they passed on Shedeur, because the next year's draft class, the next year's quarterback class is gonna be stronger than this one." I'm like, yo, let me hold your hand. Let me hold your hand when I say this. This is a fucking Steelers, nigga. These are the fucking. They don't tank.
They're not like they're going to get. They're going to get.
You're not getting Arch Manning, nigga. I don't know who brainwashed you. You're not getting Arch Manning. You're not getting the best quarterback situation possible. You don't trade up. You historically are winning. We hang our hat on Mike Tomlin always continuing to be somebody that never has a losing season, and I don't think it's going to change next season because you upgraded in certain skill positions. You're cooked, nigga. You're cooked. Look, I don't care how good your defense is. You're cooked. You're cooked. You don't have a quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers is everybody's assuming Aaron Rodgers is going there. He hasn't signed yet, and he's been for months.
What if a nigga retire? What if a nigga retire?
Literally, he said he's considering it, and I hope he does.
A happy day for us, nigga. A happy day for us, but nigga, like, I would be so pissed.
Like, when I think of the Steelers, I normally think of like a franchise that makes like smart moves. I just feel like Shedeur, even if, because a lot of people had issues with Shedeur as far as his potential, as far as his ceiling, because they're like, oh, he's not the greatest athlete. He don't got like a super duper strong arm. They're like, he really only went with the mental side. He might not do nothing like too crazy in the NFL. And it's just like, honestly, if the Steelers just get them a competent quarterback, that's fine. That's fine, because like their skill positions are pretty much set. I know they got running back Caleb Johnson from Iowa, who's probably gonna be pretty good for them. They needed a new running back. Then they got DK and George Pickens, who are monsters on the outside, and their defense is the Steelers. Their defense is always good, and they're going to continue to be good. So it's just like, just get you a competent quarterback in there, and they could have had one with Shedeur, yet they just kept going these other directions, and it truly, like, I'm just very, very surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they had they had memes of Mel Kiper and Kente Cloth. They had that nigga saying he finna be on live with Dr. Umar. That nigga was like, hey, what the fuck is going on? I've never seen Mel Kiper.
It really felt like it really felt like they were doing him like Kaepernick, which is like, it's not
crazy.
Like, that's not something you normally say, because Kaepernick, like, with his situation, it was obvious they were blackballing him because he took a stance against for like social justice and things like that. So like you could see the concrete reason. Like, I didn't agree with the NFL with it at all by any means, but you can see the reason of why they wanted to blackball Kaepernick. With Shedeur, he just arrogant? Ooh, there's plenty of arrogant people. So it just blew my mind.
It left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. Like, it was like, bro, what are we doing? And like, I don't really agree with a lot about what Shady McCoy says in real life. Like I don't really listen to this nigga in all sincerity, but he did bring up like good points when it was like okay, like we don't want. But he said I don't. He said I don't trust anybody that says like we're concerned about distractions in the locker room or locker room distractions. He was like, if you're an NFL football player, that's been in a real NFL locker room, what kind of distraction? Like what the fuck is a distraction? There is no real distractions in NFL locker. That's not a real thing. That's just shit niggas just be saying. He was like, there's only two situations where you could justify a locker room distraction. He brought up Colin Kaepernick, which is like okay, like that was just some life changing thing. That was a cultural thing.
Yeah,
You could get that. He was like, and the other one was Michael Sam, for obvious reasons of him being the first openly gay football player. People still on the fence. You still had Gary Payton ass niggas vocally talking crazy. If you know, you know. So outside of that, who the fuck? What kind of locker room distractions are we talking about? Like that? That's not a real thing. And it was like, yo, like niggas just saying anything. I'm not saying that Shedeur Sanders handled the situation perfectly and did all the right things that everybody wanted him to do, but to sit here and act like him sliding all the way down to the 5th round was strictly football, or he's not good enough, or the X's and O's. No, nigga. That shit flew out the window after the first round. You could only justify that for first round stuff. Like, okay, like you didn't think he was good enough to be a first round talent. After that, nigga,
because he's clearly if he on no layer than third. Dylan Gabriel should not have went before him, but neither here nor there. The Browns are idiots. Double way. But you sort of spoke on real fast of how you were like, you don't know if Shedeur did everything the right way. And I saw a couple of tweets talking about it. And they say like Shedeur, he turned down a lot of his chances to work out in front of scouts because he didn't do the Senior Bowl or the Big 12 Pro Day or the Combine. He didn't throw. And then he only chose what teams he would have meetings with. He didn't test at all. And like maybe that just shows he sort of like misvalued himself as far as his stock. So maybe that could have contributed to it, but it's just like still, man, the feeling is there.
That's a two-way street too. Because I feel like that's a two-way street when it comes to like overvaluing yourself. Because if you're getting a draft grade of you're a first round grade, or you're a first round this, or you are like up there, you may not be better than Cam Ward, but everybody's saying that you damn near clear Jackson Dart. When you feel like you're a top 10 pick, every you think Cam Newton was talking to all 32? He wasn't. None of them top draft shit. As much as I talk about Bo Nix, I'm almost for certain Bo Nix was not out here talking to all 32. He wasn't talking to the Cowboys because he knew them niggas was not finna get a quarterback. I'm not expecting him to have real draft interviews with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm gonna be honest with you. You already have Sam Darnold. I was surprised he even got Jalen Milroe. But it's like, okay. And when people already don't like you, they don't give you the benefit of the doubt anyway. So when they talk about the Pro Bowl, they'll never bring up, or not the Pro Bowl, the Senior Bowl. They'll never talk about the bowl that he actually went to. I think it was the Shrine Bowl, and they'll never dig into the weeds that's an HBCU heavy bowl game for HBCU athletes, and that he understood that by him going there, it's in his backyard, Dallas, that TV cameras are going to be there and it's going to show light to other athletes. When he doesn't do things at the Combine, you already know how my stance is about the Combine versus the Pro Day. I think you should just pick one and roll with it. I felt like doing a Pro Day was going to be even better if you're a high caliber athlete anyway, because it gives you a chance for scouts to see your other teammates. But you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt when they don't already like you. They're just going to twist the narrative. He was just too arrogant. He didn't want to go to this. He didn't want to go to that. But there's reasons for why he did it. Now, if you agree or disagree with that, that's up to you. But they'll paint it how they want to paint it because they don't like not only him, they don't like his father either. It's a weird situation going on. But it's neither here nor there. He's a 5th round quarterback. He's in a situation where, although I don't like the situation in Cleveland,
Yeah,
he's in the situation where he can battle. He can battle for the starting spot, which I was scared was not going to be a reality for him. Being a day 3, I was like, damn, like he might be in a situation where this is a solidified one. And it would take a catastrophic injury for him to get on the field. But you know, he has ample opportunity to show he's way better than Dylan, and he's better than Deshaun. Like he has the opportunities and skills. So we'll see how it goes. But it was bullshit from day one. It was bullshit. It was bullshit.
Nah, I ain't never seen nothing like that. Like maybe 2 months ago, people were saying, "Oh, he could go as high as 2nd overall," and then he gets picked 142 picks later. So
you know what's crazy? Cleveland. It's like Cleveland had a decent draft, but at the same time, like you had the opportunity. They had the opportunity to draft Travis Hunter and Shedeur. You had the opportunity to draft both of them niggas the way things turned out, but that's neither here nor there. I did not like, and I understand it. I understand it's television, and I work in television, so I get it. But it's like, damn, I don't like when things just get revolved around just one thing. Like, yes, Shedeur was a heavy conversation piece, but man, I just wanted him to get drafted because there was a lot of things to be excited for. A lot of teams did some really good things this go around.